Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel, where I'm your host and Untitled Anarchist Seagull called Elise. And I think I've got an interesting array of crap to look at. And I just wanted to make sure everyone saw this, because this is not crap. This is definitively non-crap. It's good. It's going to be good. I haven't watched it yet. But John the Duncan is a reliable source of very good stuff, and he's just come out with a new one. I just dropped the link in chat. Hang on.
Try to actually deal with the intent.
Right. There we go. Talking about the role of intent in the definition of genocide, and I imagine complicating, first of all, Destiny's complete incomprehension of the entire concept of specific intent. The lore on what channel name? On John the Duncan? I imagine that's just his name and he added a the. Hey, Rotten Mouse, incidentally. We've got some more Darman crap, and incidentally, I've been getting, since I started looking at, I'm an anarchist, and I've often thought seagulls made a very good sort of animal emblem for anarchism, because they don't fuck around. They go and they take what's theirs. Yeah, as anyone who's ever tried to eat chips in coastal Ireland will certainly be aware. I've always appreciated seagulls for that, and so I thought, hey, make it a seagull. And then there was Untitled Goose Game a few years ago, which, and so I was like, okay, Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. So apparently, Darman is a tight ass, apart from everything else. He apparently got done for fraud a few years ago, before he decided to get into cinema. And he systematically screws over his cast members. So I utterly stan his actors and their minimum effort for minimum wage performances. Oh, well, I don't know about rats. Maybe we can, but I have a definite appreciation for seagulls. Plus, they have those beaks that just say, "Don't fuck with me," and I appreciate that. Hey, Adam. So I think we might start out with some more Darman bullshit, and then move into a main course. This is Dad Keeps His Daughters High!
That's incredible!
IQ secret. What happens next is shocking. Okay, are we going to see another Rubik's Cube? I wonder.
Ella, you're gonna win the school competition for sure.
Not just the school. You should totally enter in the state competition coming up.
It's whatever.
Oh, it's whatever. Hey, bonsoir.
So don't let Stacy get to you.
Yeah, she's just jealous that since you transferred here, you're getting all the attention.
Okay. These are possibly the first... See, these kids don't understand that they're getting completely screwed, that Darman is going to screw them over. And they're actually giving this material much more than it's worth.
Hey guys, check out my project! Yeah, thanks.
That wasn't nice, Stacy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder, was that nice? I mean, I think it probably might not have been.
you can do about it.
I'd love to have a battle of wits with you, but it wouldn't be fair. It's obvious you're unarmed.
That
You're gonna pay for that, Ella.
wow, she's gonna pay in the form of missing, very easy to die, being missed repeatedly.
What's going on here?
Bad acting. Wait, why she got a bloody nose? She was hit on the side of the head.
Who did this to you, Stacy?
Very sort of grunge era Cruella de Vil vibe in this look. I'm digging it. Generic working class outfit and... oh, he's got a burner phone. Okay, so he's down. He hasn't got any of the tracking apps on this thing. Actually, probably it's just Darman's so fucking cheap he won't even get prop smartphone. See, you can tell they're working class because he's wearing generic jumpsuit. We're just gonna cough for the rest of the film.
You can come in now, Mr. Diaz.
Oh, I've been waiting for this all day. That sounds wonderful.
Look, Principal Stevens, I'm so sorry for Ella's behavior. I don't know.
No need to apologize.
Wait, what? Okay, well, I mean, that would be entirely surprisingly decent behavior. If I don't think that... Where is this going now? There's the decent option where she says, I know that what happened... Well, there's no way she started it. I don't think that's where this is going. But where do you think this is going, chat?
I don't.
No. After reviewing the camera footage and talking to several students, it was clearly self-defense.
Oh,
Wait, she's like grinning there.
okay.
Which is kind of weird because it is still a fairly serious situation, but okay.
So why did you call me in?
Well,
She was very good at it.
I want to talk about Ella's academic performance.
I want to talk about Ella's academic performance. Like, this is just... Well, apparently well, except that's what I would have thought. Except that didn't happen. We've already, like, the immediate... Yeah, the surveillance state brought justice for once. Or something.
Is she not doing well in school? I mean, she's only been here a week. It can't be that bad.
Actually,
She's done remarkably bad for just 1 week. We've never had anyone who managed to fail out of a year's worth of coursework in this short a time. She's failing in extra credit shit.
it's quite the opposite. A plus,
What the fucking hand shrug?
A plus, A plus, A plus. It's remarkable. I've never seen a student excel so quickly,
Well, you should see her Word and PowerPoint then.
which is why I think she needs to be put into a school for the gifted and talented.
No, thank you. I want to keep her exactly where she is.
Do you need to get that?
Excuse me.
Fuck, it's Janet again. Fun fact, there is an airline, their call sign is Janet, and it is used by certain 3-letter government agencies. Yeah, there's no Rubik's Cube. She showed her cleverness through the unexpected medium of brains of test scores and fighting.
Is there anything else?
Mr. Diaz, I don't think you understand.
Well, no, I need to be patronized, clearly.
She's far more advanced than any other fourth grader. If it's the
I mean, just that duck and smack combination was really impressive.
money that's a problem, they have a grant program.
Money is not the problem. I just don't want to put her in any other classroom, that's all.
It's the best fucking classroom ever. It's, I mean, the desks don't have wormholes and stuff.
But Dad.
I've made my final decision, Ella. Now, I was in the middle of a job and I really needed the money, so I gotta go.
Well, I mean, that's already fucked that, I think.
Come on, Daddy. Please extend my apologies to Stacy's mom once again.
Morning.
Oh, good morning.
Mrs. Stewart, I'd like Ella to sit in your class for the rest of the day.
Oh, did she just transfer in?
Yes, recently. She's in the fourth grade, but I want to see how she does in fifth.
All right, sweetheart, have a seat. Okay,
Yeah, okay, that's an angle that would not be surprising. There is always a certain amount of dystopian neoliberalism delivered with zero panache in a Darman joint.
I'll talk to you later then. I'd like you to go ahead and fill this out the best that you can. Don't.
See that? You'd think that's bad acting, but actually I'm pretty sure that's bad editing. They shot this twice. This is a different shot here, and rather than try and match up the sentence, get the sound, the rhythm, so that it flows properly, they left an audible pause.
Worry if you can't answer anything, and don't worry about the time because everyone else started before you did. All right? Okay then.
Wait, is this school just nothing but fucking
All right,
exams?
Be careful.
That's probably true, though. That's probably real at this point. Wait. 5th grade and it's just, basic multiplication by multiples of 5?
So you start here, or right here.
Okay, this music is annoying me. Is she about to go into a dream sequence where she's not in a Darman movie? I think we're all dreaming that.
You have to try to solve all the problems, okay?
I did it. I'm done.
Don't contradict her, or she'll hit you over the side of the head with a fucking textbook.
Wow. Have you ever seen one of these before?
Oh, we called it. See, that's the twist. That's what'll shock. It took this long for a Rubik's Cube to come into it.
It's called a Rubik's Cube. And the goal is to get the squares of the same color all on the same side by just turning it. Try it.
Is there any reason we had to go outside?
I
for
am
the
so
Rubik's
sorry.
Cube?
I had a job run late.
It's okay.
Thank you for watching her. You are
Mrs. Stewart, I'm Ella's new 5th grade teacher.
5th grade, but she's in 4th.
Principal Stevens thought it would be a good idea to see how she does with slightly older kids.
I specifically told Principal Stevens that I wanted to keep her in the same class.
That would be doing her a disservice. She is far too advanced.
Yeah. Has she finished the Rubik's Cube yet?
I can hardly keep her interest in
Just-
my class.
Well, that's because it's 5th grade and you're doing like basic 3rd grade multiplication, I think.
Please, put her back. Ella, come on, sweetheart, let's go.
Mr. Diaz, is it possible to speak to Mrs. Diaz? I know that this is a big decision, but is it possible to get Ella's mother's input?
Mrs. Diaz isn't around anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed. Sorry.
Oh, yep, it's solved, of course. Not in the same shot either, of course. Like, can you even buy Rubik's Cubes anymore? I mean, I haven't seen one since the 80s.
Why aren't you dancing with me, honey?
Dad, can I please enter the Lego competition?
But she was already in the Lego competition.
There's a $5,000 grand prize.
Legos are fine. All you gotta do is play and build things, right?
Wait, what's the point of this line? Is the idea that he's not familiar with Legos?
Kinda. Except on this one, there's a time limit. So it's kind of like a competition to see who's smarter. And
Then no.
I don't get it. Why don't you ever let me do competitions, skip grades, or go to special classes?
I don't want to
What do you mean, ever? Like, all these things have only happened once as far as we know.
get into this again, Ella.
Oh, okay, it's happening.
You're 9 years old. Instead of worrying about competitions, you should be living life. Enjoying your childhood.
Well, I guess not doing Rubik's Cubes then. So he had a bad experience with a Rubik's Cube in the past.
You know that's what your mom would have wanted, right?
Even the fucking
Enjoying your
subtitlers. Watch this.
childhood. You know that's
Even the subtitlers are phoning it in. That's what your mom would have wanted.
what your mom would have wanted, right?
Everybody's phoning it in, and I am there for it, because minimum effort is what minimum wage goes for, and apparently some of the people appearing in this were homeless at the time that they were regularly taking gigs from fucking Darman. So yeah, make them as shitty as possible.
That's my girl. Now, how about if we go have some fun at the beach and watch the sunset?
Okay, Daddy.
Wait, where the sun's already setting? That she just got out of school. How late does this school go? Is this night school?
Turn up, Dad.
Very colorful past due bill. Your drawer shouldn't make that noise. Wait, what? Oh. Like, just with the fucking electrical tape, not cutting it out or anything?
Did you brush your teeth? Floss? Did you wash your face?
No, you got me on that one.
I am so proud of you, honey. I was thinking, tomorrow after school,
Want to do Rubik's Cubes together?
what if we went and got some ice cream?
But I thought we don't have money for that.
Who told you that?
The collection
That's
calls.
not true. And even if we didn't, I'll always have enough to buy you ice cream. Good night, sweetheart. I love you so much.
Good night, Dad.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He's like, actually, so far he isn't doing that. Clearly, we've just established he could use the $5,000. And he's not doing that.
Daddy.
He's not gonna send his daughter out on the Lego circuit.
You know what to do.
Oh, high school and 12th grade both. So it's not like middle school 12th grade. So I guess that makes it like the 24th grade? Also, what's this guy dressing for? Is he about to go off fucking horse riding? He's gonna go off. Is he late for the hunt? Is it the glorious 12th?
So you're in our class again? I think so.
I mean, it looks like it.
Good. Missed you.
All right, kiddos. Now you'll have 30 minutes to finish this test, okay? Good luck.
It's like literally, it's an all-testing school. This is what No Child Left Behind is all about, and the RAT program, which is how I acronymize Race to the Top, which is Obama's worsening of No Child Left Behind. It's just like all they're doing is fucking tests. They don't teach anything. The idea is what they're supposed to just already know the shit coming in. Then. Nice.
Come in.
He graded Ella's exam.
And?
100%.
You're kidding.
Wait, she's nodding. Yes, he's kidding.
On an advanced high school exam?
We called it. This little girl is special. Are you gonna call her dad and tell him?
No. He doesn't seem convinced. We need to find a way to
Show him the Rubik's Cube.
show him just how brilliant she is. Some objective proof.
Like, maybe 2 Rubik's Cubes. Wait. And the door says, keep it real? Wait. Oh, they're gonna have her critique how full of shit the New York Times is. See, I mean, any 4th grader can do 12th grade algebra exams, but media criticism, that is the true stroke of brilliance.
Daddy! Look, I'm in the newspaper.
The ACLU of Rhode Island released a report Wednesday detailing the open meeting practices of city and town councils and school committees in providing the public remote access to their meetings in a so-called post-COVID environment. Wow, like, they don't really have a lot going on in this town.
I told you she was special.
Why would you?
Wait, so the idea was you couldn't just show him the exam. You had to instead, because he's so chill with this whole idea, that the best thing to do was to put her in the newspaper without his consent.
You do this? Do you realize the kind of problems that this is gonna cause?
This is gonna
Get in the car, Ella. We're going home now.
You can't deny she's a special girl. Gold always shines, Mr. Diaz. No matter
I've seen gold that doesn't. You have to wash it off sometime.
how much you cover it up.
Didn't go as planned?
Well, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? That was a horrible idea.
I thought you'd be proud of me.
I am proud of you. I just didn't want to draw too much attention. That's all.
Oh, so the idea is he hasn't been able to settle on a story for why he does it.
That's why we moved here. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know this is very hard. And it's new for me too. But together, we're going to figure it out.
Everywhere they go, he just keeps getting mailed Rubik's Cubes. Everybody who's never managed to solve a Rubik's Cube sends the Rubik's Cubes to his address. And the newspapers, they have nothing better to do than to publish her test results.
Okay? Now, as soon as I change out of this, we're gonna go get ice cream. Don't think I forgot.
There's too much sugar in ice cream. I've been calling you.
Yeah, sorry. We've been very busy with the move. It's a struggle.
I can see that.
Official report. Like, the font keeps changing on you. Like, can you decide on a font?
Is there a reason you're here?
I came to see my granddaughter and congratulate her in person. You have a great mind, just like your mom. You know, she was in the newspaper too at 10 years old.
I'm 9.
Oh, that's even better. You know, the youngest child graduated from Harvard at age 13. You have a chance to beat that.
Ella doesn't need to break any record. No.
Yeah, what about the bad acting record? Well, I
Excuse.
mean, her dad's got that one locked up. But again, respecting the minimum effort, minimum wage ratio here.
Does come on.
You know,
They
Arthur,
don't pay for top performances, and they're not getting them.
if you keep me away from my granddaughter, I could file for custody.
Ella, sweetheart,
Fortunately, it doesn't work that way.
go wait inside. What exactly do you want?
I want Ella to be with me so that I can take care of her and...
It's not happening.
Well, she can spend weekends with me then.
I'm sorry, but that's not happening either.
Like,
Well,
are we gonna get any kind of backstory, or is this going to just happen in the very end? Like, it's gonna be hidden in a Rubik's Cube, maybe?
certain that a judge would prefer for Ella to be with her well-off grandmother than with her father who doesn't have a job and is getting evicted
Well, he
from
very clearly has a job. I mean, what do you think the outfit's for?
his apartment. I mean, what is the issue with me taking Ella under my wing? I did a pretty good job with my daughter. I mean, she graduated high school at 12, she had a PhD at 18, and she even...
And she was constantly depressed and addicted to pills by the time she was 28.
Wow, it took her that long? Oh, that's not very precocious. Like, you'd think that she would have gotten addicted to pills younger.
All because of the pressure that you were putting on her.
You're not actually blaming me.
Yes, I am. You see, ever since Patty was a little girl, you never let her be an actual kid. You always put so much pressure on her to do well in school and grow up too fast.
Not the same... Were they playing some Vivian shit on us here? Everybody, I think the script...
Patty never got to do any of the things other kids got to do.
I think these are written by fucking Twat GPT.
While everyone
A hardback SAT guide?
else her age was out playing and having fun, you forced her to be constantly working. Yeah, she got ahead faster. But what you didn't see was the impact it was having on her mental health.
Wait, so the idea is they're just now having this conversation for the first time? Like, this whole time this has not been a subject between them? Just all of a sudden he's been like fucking running all this time with the burner phone that apparently she has the number to for reasons?
She became so depressed.
You can tell because of the violin. She became so...
And that depression only got worse as she got older.
Wait. Employee... Wow, she...
Got worse.
I
And
have
that
to see that
depression
fucking
only got
certificate.
worse as she got older.
Oh, NASA Employee of the Month. She wears her lab coat home. It looks very official. Does NASA have Employee of the Month?
So much so that she got addicted to taking pain medication because she felt like a constant disappointment to you.
That's not pain medication.
And eventually, that pain.
That fucking violin. Like, I mean, see the way she's like conveying pain in the sense of sort of mild to moderate indigestion, I think.
Ended up taking her life. So you see...
It looked like trying to get into her glove box ended up taking her life.
If it wasn't for the pressure that you were putting on Patty, she might still be with us today.
Wait, okay, am I completely off base, or is this not the same woman?
You know, before she died, she made me promise to let Ella be a kid and just have fun. And don't pressure her so much the way that you did. That is why I...
Wait a second, what? I'm giving this way...
You know, before
way
she
too much.
died...
Wait, I thought she died in a car crash. How the fuck did she have a chance to impart this, like, parting wisdom?
She made me promise to let Ella be a kid and just have fun. And don't pressure her so much the way that you did. That is why I'm so protective for Ella.
That's gold. Pure gold.
It's like they decided to do a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Fib swap, but in a 20-minute one-off thing. Like, did she walk out on this in the middle, which would be totally understandable, and I hope footage of it surfaces because I would love to see a cast member telling Darman to get fucked.
Arthur, to blame my daughter's death on me? How dare you? Did you know that this is hard on me too? I didn't know that she was taking pills, but you clearly did. It was your responsibility to make sure that she didn't drive.
It was too late when I found out. I only found out after I read her journal.
Wait, what?
Journal? It doesn't even matter. I'll settle for every other weekend.
Wait, okay, so she just got over all of this apparently new information very quickly, and she's just gone right back into the negotiation.
It's either that, or we can go to court. And we both know you don't have the money for that.
Yeah, because you work for Darman. Nobody who works for Dharma and has the money for that.
Why are we here again?
Well, Professor Xavier is one of the top math professors at Harvard. He met with your mom when she was just a little girl, and he helped her. I want to see if he can help
Wow, they cut that several times.
you too.
Ooh.
It's more-
Don't play with that. You'll break it.
Janet.
Wait, so she's so terribly clever, but if she touches a pen, she's going to break it?
So good to see you.
Pleasure.
And you must be Ella. You look just like your mother. I'm sorry again about everything that happened.
Well, thank you, Professor. But Ella doesn't just look like Patty. She's gifted like her as well.
Actually, she doesn't look like Patty. Nobody looks like anybody in these fucking things. Grandma doesn't even look like herself.
I was hoping you could evaluate her and tell me what you think.
Okay, well, how about we try the problem that's on the board here? Don't worry, it's not surprising that she can't solve it. I just gave it to my PhD students and they couldn't solve it either.
It's not a problem within the answer. It's within the question.
Okay, so the idea is this guy's been intent in keeping her away from all this advanced shit, and she somehow innately understands the symbols here.
Whoever wrote this forgot the negative sign on the exponent. Now it'll be easy to solve.
Well, you did just change the problem.
Daddy, I missed you!
Oh, I miss you too, sweetie. Hey, go change, okay? I'm taking you to the movies.
Yay!
To the movies. I hope it's at least a documentary. I introduced Ella to a Harvard professor today, and he was very impressed by her and wants to work with her regularly. He asked if she could be a part of a summer program that would...
Absolutely not. No, I'm not allowed.
Wait, okay. Then why did you let her take her to Harvard in the first fucking place, though?
Knowing it. She needs to be with me and be a kid.
Well, I don't think you have too much of a choice. Don't forget about your situation.
He didn't put those in the drawer. Wait, there were more of those. He put other ones in the drawer before. What happened to those? Does he put? Is this like Stardew Valley? Do you put the bills in the drawer and they get paid by the mayor?
Daddy, can you please help me with something?
Well, maybe shut the door if you don't want her to come in. Like, okay, that's supposed to be... Wait, what? God, he's like recycling footage from 2 minutes ago. Maybe what freaked her out is the fact that her mother's apparently two completely different people.
You know, I really don't...
You were right. It was my fault.
Well, that was easy. Why didn't he do that before? Like, okay, so the idea is he didn't bring up any of this before, and now she just looks at this as like, oh shit, wow, I did fuck it up. Like, really?
Ella doesn't have to go to Harvard or any other special school.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Okay, I just have like Harvard or any other special school. I'm sure, like Harvard students fucking love that phrasing. Like, who wrote this? I really think it must be ChatGPT.
I promise I won't interfere with her life. I've already messed up enough.
Just stop shape-shifting on her. Well, you could, I mean, wait. So she's just gonna walk out knowing that they're about to get evicted? That's very apologetic. That's just really conciliatory vibes there.
Ready?
Ella, sweetheart, I've got great news for you. You don't have to go see that professor anymore. And you don't have to go to Harvard for the summer.
Who said I didn't want to?
Well, yeah, we've already established she's actually kind of keen. Wait, how is he not surprised? How is he surprised by this? The whole first thing was her trying to get into this sort of shit and him disagreeing. Now he's surprised?
And time! I think the answer is clear. Ella wins!
Wait, so what's the point of having those three judges there? Are those just three random people who just decided to pop in and watch kids do Legos?
Thank you.
You were amazing, sweetheart. Oh, congratulations.
I was just talking to your dad, and he's agreed to let you go to that school I was telling you about.
I couldn't stop it if I tried.
Well,
Gold always shines, no matter how much you cover it up. I spoke with the head of admissions, and they have an opening right now if you want to go check it out.
Actually, Dad, can we go somewhere else instead?
she wants to see where they make Rubik's Cubes.
I was my favorite.
Ooh, strawberry?
That'll be $22.
$22? Sheesh.
Okay. Yeah, this is fortuitous timing. Did you see the this was hilarious. Just for the hell of it, I think I'm gonna have to just pull this up after just to show you what I'm talking about. This girl, this I think from little girl from I think Manchester, Northern England anyway, who's going off about how much the ice cream van charges, and it is beautiful.
I remember when ice cream used to cost $1 a scoop.
I don't remember that. And why
Here you
they
go,
got
Dad.
3 of them?
Take it. I'm sure.
Well, okay, have you got change for a $5,000 yellow Lego check?
Okay, well, we're eating ice cream.
Well,
thank
it's
you.
kind of early. It's kind of late to have been making that call.
Very much, Ella.
But
Grandma, do you think
$20 for that bullshit?
you could teach me how to?
How about if we just enjoy our ice cream?
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to pull that thing up because it was classic, and you really must see it if you haven't. Oh, that is fortuitous. Somebody liked my repost of it. So,
Girls, what's just happened?
hang on, let me just open.
Girls, what's just happened?
So, there's an ice cream van there. silly. It's just 2 ice creams with 2 chewing gums in it.
Yeah.
For bloody £9 for 2 of them.
£9 for 2?
Yeah, £9. That is going to get nowhere. One that comes on my street is either £1 a p or £2. That is going to get nowhere with that.
No, he ain't, is it?
No, he ain't.
That's well bad, isn't
Yeah, you
it?
should know. And he only does bloody card. Stood there with my cash. Bloody hell.
That's well bad, isn't it?
Bloody well bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet he can hear me.
Okay. Yeah, that I was just beautiful. Okay, now moving on to the mains. Because I made the mistake of refreshing, and now I have to go through like 800 fucking videos on here to get to the newest stuff on my playlist. Well, hell, I'll scroll down slowly. Maybe you see a diamond in the rough here. There's tons of stuff that I have not actually looked at. A lot of this is quite old. Because let's see. Okay, we're almost back to where we started. Biden's State of the Union was absolutely unfiltered, says Xander. Okay, so we've got some Destiny bullshit. We've got Tipito Enojado with who's going to explain how capitalism does not really need poor people. He's going to point out what a ridiculous socialist lie that is. We've got Michael Oren still talking about how Zionists in the U.S. feel abandoned because Israel's just not bringing up their propaganda game or something. We've got Destiny trying to slag off Hassan, who was on Piers Morgan. That could be interesting. Or el capitalismo necesita pobre. Video viral del creador de los simuladores. What's everyone's pleasure? Some Destiny bullshit, Tipito Enojado. Michael Oren bullshit. Where shall we go? What happens next is going to be shocking. Actually, I'm kind of leaning towards this Destiny one, where he's trying to have a go at Hassan. Fuck it, let's do that one. Unless anyone has a strong preference otherwise, we'll do this one.
Oh God! Oh no! Zan called it his worst performance because he started screaming and cursing out everyone on the panel.
Well, looking at this panel, I can see why you would do that. That's, like, probably well-deserved. I mean, fucking Piers Morgan is on there.
You look this person's mother in the eyes and you tell him that this was justified?
And then they get the worst Zionist lunatics. Like, if you want to play the phone game, how many millions of dollars would you need to spend if you wanted to buy one phone for every Palestinian that had their arms blown off? What a stupid talking point. Look at my phone!
Doing this.
He's so mad!
Well, God, yeah, it's so funny that he's so mad about genocide. The genocide you're denying.
Please don't talk.
You're a fucking terrorist. God, you know what a killer talking point is? God, I'm gonna do the pro-Palestinian side. If the war was all about getting the hostages, and the hostages are things that you care about the most, where the are they at? Oh, there are so many good talking points here. Wait, why didn't she just give the answer to the question? Hassan.
Yeah, I love how this guy who like discovered Palestine like 5 minutes ago, who literally could not find Israel on the map, who thought Erdogan was the prime minister of Israel. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be our commentator here. This motherfucker.
On, take notes. Who is this lady? She answered this question way better in giving the pro-Palestinian side.
For some reason.
Who is this person? Yes.
It's probably pointed out at some point. It is television.
Well, all you need is Xanax. Okay, so should Israel...
Yeah, no, don't interrupt me. I haven't asked you a question yet. One Hamas guy... Sorry, I need to ask you a question. Being a ridiculous...
Oh my God. Damn.
Yeah, fuck Piers Morgan.
Hassan is wild.
Don't fucking stop me.
Hi, Hassan. This is pathetic. Apologies.
Wait, Piers Morgan does not get to call anything pathetic. Piers Morgan, apart from everything else, here's just a bit of Piers Morgan lore. A few years ago, there was a bomb threat in Germany at a stadium in Hanover. And the Daily Mirror, which used to be a publication run by Piers Morgan, a British newspaper, tabloid, claimed on their Twitter page and actually in an article on the website that that they'd found an ambulance full of explosives. So I was following the German media from the second I heard about this to see what was going on. Nobody in the German media was talking about any of this. There was like no sign of this. So I go to the guy who was on Twitter, who was the author of the piece on the Mirror, and say, "What's your source for this? There's absolutely nothing in the German media backing this up." And he goes, "It links me to a tweet from Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan started a fucking hoax about an ambulance full of explosives in Germany. And to my knowledge, he has never actually retracted or corrected that. He is the origin of that bullshit story."
I thought you'd put the clip in the final cut. Ooh.
Well, the war in Gaza is incensed communities.
It's beating me up.
Why? He's on with these people? Oh, no. Oh. Okay. Thank you. I could have been on with way worse.
Show saying that it was a tragedy. It was atrocities that occurred on October 7th, specifically.
What is
when you target civilians in any capacity, I think that that is unacceptable. However, this does not mean that violence will not occur in many circumstances. Violence has occurred in every single revolutionary action, many good revolutionary actions. Obviously, America bombing.
Who the hell is Crackhead Barney? Is that a thing? Like
Hiroshima and Nagasaki with an atom bomb. That was not a very
was what
good
Hamas did on
moment
October
for
the 7th.
anybody. It was not a very good moment for human civilization at all.
Was what Hamas did on October the 7th. Was what Hamas did on October the 7th
a revolutionary
of what you would call a justified revolution?
Yes. Oh God! Oh.
I mean, and the obvious answer is, well, yes. That doesn't mean that every single thing that went down on October 7th was necessarily great, but they certainly had every right to fucking rise up. That is the obvious answer. And when was this? Let's find the date, because the question is, how much did people know? How much debunking about October 7th had happened? Crackhead Barney unleashes on Piers Morgan. Like, this is okay. 36 minutes ago when he has it up, and when did he do this? 3 weeks ago. Okay, so by this time, it was well established that a lot of the nastiest atrocity stories that had been bandied about on 7th October were just entirely fabrications. At this point, the appropriate response to this is to start out by saying, first of all, we have to distinguish between what happened on October 7th and the numerous fabricated stories that have been circulated about what happened on October 7th in order to justify genocide. That is, you have to start out with that, because they're trying to turn October 7th into, it's like, you can't talk about October 7th without it being synonymous with every single, like, wild bullshit story that was made up about what went down. You can't, so that they're the same people who will, like, tell you about all the nuance of why it isn't so cut and dry that you can, the attack on Al-Shifa Hospital, something like that, will say that literally nothing that happened on October 7th could possibly be anything other than pure evil or some bullshit. Oh, what's he say? Okay, Riveroon, what's he said? I mean, yeah, he says some nasty shit all the time, I suppose, but...
Oh, no! Oh, that's the age of consent question for Sneeko! All right. Okay. Okay, hold on. Time is frozen. How do we answer this if we're Hassan?
I mean, the other thing you'd point out is that it was in response to massive, extremely violent and deadly pogroms being carried out by the Zionist state in Huwara and other places in the West Bank and within the Green Line at the time, and that the main thing that happened was the defeat of the Gaza division, which is primarily responsible for keeping food and medicine out of Gaza.
Okay, well, I'm not saying it was justified, but what do you expect oppressed people to do? I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a shitball answer.
Or pivot totally to Israel. Those are our two options.
No, though. Yeah, see, this is the thing. What he's doing. This is why debate chuds are so fucking useless. Because they've decided that knowing anything doesn't matter. Like, having actual knowledge of anything is completely irrelevant. Instead, it's just debate strategy. So he's sitting here. To him, this is a fucking game.
Pivot completely to Israel, or say, I don't know if I call it justified, but what are they going to do? History didn't start on October 7th, Piers. It didn't happen in a vacuum.
October the 7th, an example of what you would call a justified revolution.
Okay.
I don't look at every single act of violence. I look at
You've literally
players,
just been reciting
a
whole load of
systems
them.
of oppression.
Why are you avoiding
Piers.
October the 7th?
You do it too.
Well,
okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, Piers Morgan famously does a lot of it. When he's, like, doing his fucking, like, paeans to Winston Churchill, he kind of leaves out all the genocide that motherfucker was involved in.
No,
I'm not avoiding it. I've talked about it a million times
well,
over.
let me ask you one more time.
Hang on. This is not what we're here to discuss.
Emily, hang on.
This is not what we're here to discuss.
Let me just ask you. Let me just ask you directly one more time.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say he really should have been better prepared for this. This is an obvious fucking question, and it's not like this is not a surprise question, I will say. He's like, this was a question that, I mean, especially 3 weeks ago, with the amount that he's talked about Gaza, with the amount he's talked about Palestine, as far as I've seen, which isn't a lot because I don't really follow him, you would expect better preparation there. Because obviously that's where fucking Piers Morgan is going to go.
One more time. Do you believe what happened on October the 7th was a justified act of revolution? Yes or no?
Yeah, well, the question is which part of what happened? There's a lot of things happened on October 7th.
Okay, one more time.
I do not, and I do think that.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like, what? Like, that's bullshit. Because what happened? A lot of different things happened, and not all of them can be ascribed to a single group. Like, it wasn't just armed resistance factions that escaped from Gaza that day. A lot of just random people got out and did all sorts of just random shit. You also, like, when he says this, like, I have to wonder, has he actually paid attention to the amount of debunking that's gone on? I would assume that he would have, at least some of it, but this really isn't it.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay, wait, it wasn't, but...
Yeah, this is fucking hell. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to one round.
Although, you sort of... Anyone can stumble, but it's like, this is just such an obvious
it might not have been justified, but like, okay, so then are we going to do but what do you expect to happen? These people are oppressed, open air prison, genocide, what do we got?
Let me clarify. Let me clarify something very important here. Events that unfolded on October 7 were atrocities. That much is clear.
Okay. First of all, that's really vague. Unfolded. Like, they were, what are we talking about here? And second of all, this is 3 weeks ago. By this point, yeah, if he's been paying any attention at all, he knows a lot of what falls under the description of atrocities actually literally did not fucking happen.
Those atrocities could have been avoided if Israel was not an apartheid regime.
There we go. What did you expect them to do? Palestinians?
I love how he's just so fucking... this is just a fucking joke to him. This motherfucker who is a fucking Kyle Rittenhouse fanboy. This is all a joke to him. Like, fucking 2 million people are at acute risk of fucking getting killed, either through starvation and disease or because they're being bombed to shit. And this motherfucker, it's all just a fucking game. Yeah, they deserve each other.
People when you're mean to them. You can't control for that, okay? It's just uncontrollable.
Israel has been an apartheid regime for 75 years.
In the early... You keep repeating that.
No, you can't just chime in. You can't just chime in. You ask me a question. You want it?
Why
you ask me a question. I'm going to give you an answer.
And this is bullshit. And he's right to say, let me finish here.
Because you're repeating
Israel
these lies.
has been an apartheid regime
fuck off.
since its inception. Until
Hassan called it his worst performance because he started screaming and cursing out everyone on the panel.
Well, honestly, so far I'm not seeing a reason not to scream and curse out. Well, at least 2 people on here who deserve to just be screamed and cursed out. I don't know about these other 2. I don't know who any of these fucking people are, other than Hassan and fucking Piers Morgan.
Is that true?
Until 1967, Israel was an apartheid regime for the Palestinian citizens of Israel, the Arabs, as you called them. There was a 2-tier criminal justice.
There still is a 2-tier criminal justice system.
The Arabs, as you call. They were Arabs, but okay.
Fuck you, Destiny. Like, seriously. The reason Zionists call Palestinians in the 1948 occupied territories just Israeli Arabs is that they're trying to pretend that they're like a completely different species to the Palestinians, rather than just being the people who are, the people they could not expel back in 48 and their descendants.
The military court processes and not the civil court processes until 1967. After 1967, they got citizenship. They were citizens of Israel, the Arabs, as you call them.
This is such a really shitty way of doing it. I get he probably did not expect to immediately have to pivot into this. And the mistake, to the extent that anyone finds themselves in this situation, is to allow oneself to be baited. You're making a point about resistance now. You can get back to the issue of apartheid later. But now you've been completely fucking derailed.
There was a two-tier criminal justice system. They were subjected to the military court processes and not the civil court processes until 1967. After 1967, they got citizenship. There are obviously still many different social issues that pertain to the Palestinian citizens.
Yeah, here he's completely. This is already bullshit. I mean, this is really way worse than I would have expected. Because they got citizenship, but it's like legally it is second-class citizenship because Israel. I mean, the way you say this is to point out that everything under Israeli law is tied to the race laws, whether you are legally considered to be of Jewish ethnic group or not. And Palestinians, because they do not have Jewish on their ID, it says Arab, they immediately are excluded from all sorts of rights, including things like land ownership, planning permission. Like, I mean, their villages just, I mean, and I'm not talking about in the West Bank, I'm talking about in the Naqab, Negev, right now. They just get fucking bulldozed. You know, villages that are older than the state of Israel, because Israel decides they want to build something there, and so they just bulldoze these people's villages there. They've been living for hundreds of fucking years. I mean, this is just... Yeah.
Israel, the Arabs that are living in Israel.
I like how people that weren't citizens had different legal processes than people that were citizens. That's...
Well, yeah, but the point is that they should have been citizens because it's their fucking country. If anyone gets to be citizens of the place, it's the people who've been living there for 1,300 years. But of course, Destiny is a white nationalist. Why would he...
That's an interesting form of apartheid, which is supposed to be strictly about racial domination, or that's the main lens that you're supposed to be able to do. But okay, Chief.
Israel, those who are not Jewish,
of course. Yeah, Destiny, what do you think was the criterion for why all these people who'd been living in Palestine for 1,300 years were not given citizenship, and people who just got there were? You think there might have been some sort of racism going on there, Chief?
However, Israel currently is occupying the West Bank. There are more than 2 million Palestinians that live in the West Bank. Israel is illegally occupying the West Bank. There are checkpoints. There are license plates that restrict Palestinian...
God, I mean, this is... this is really... It's like he's kind of touching on the things, but clearly he did not expect to be talking about this specifically, and that is just another reason he should not have fucking allowed himself to be derailed there.
Travel. The Israeli operations in the West Bank have destroyed Palestinian statehood. Now, of course, all of this is readily available for those who want to learn about it, yourself included. I hope you look it up. But B'Tselem is an Israeli human rights organization which declared Israel to be an apartheid regime in 2021, in April of 2021. Amnesty International declared Israel to be an apartheid regime.
That's what you would lead with. But he wasn't expecting... I see, that I'm not going to hold too much against it. There was some... because, he was not expecting to be immediately derailed like that.
The Finkelstein points, I don't need to justify it. I'm just going to tell you like what these other people said. Okay.
Well, no, but the point being that people who are considered to be authorities on international law and human rights, and who are generally recognized as being a reasonable source of analysis on the subject, and whose analysis is widely accepted by people like Piers Morgan in every other situation, concluded that this was the case.
Hang on. Before I just want to bring in our two British panelists here, but just finally, just to clarify, Hassan, I can't quite work out whether you said you do think October the 7th was an unjustified act of revolution, or whether you...
Okay, Piers Morgan is doing him a favor here, because he just got totally derailed. I mean, he just, allowed himself to be totally derailed just now, and being brought back to this ought to be a relief.
Change your mind. So can you clarify?
He's so mad.
Well, I mean, he's probably, I would imagine, a bit mad at himself at the moment, because he's got, he's got a certain amount of time on here. He's just used it up not talking about what's going on right now, because he allowed himself to be derailed, and because he came, it seems like he came fairly unprepared in general. Yeah, I would imagine he is pissed off at the moment, and at least in part with himself.
Dude, British interviewers are brutal about holding you to answers on these things. Oh, did you see that eye roll? Did you see that eye roll? He's like, bro, he's thinking right now, like, if you were a fucking chatter, even if you were a 21-month sub, I would have banned your fucking ass by now. You'd be getting lit the fuck up in my goddamn chat room. But I gotta say,
yeah, because the thing is, like, it does not surprise me. Destiny is like the one person in the world who actually likes Piers Morgan. Everybody hates Piers Morgan in Britain. Most people get sick of him very quickly in the US. He's bounced back and forth between the two countries. Nobody seems to want him, but somehow somebody always gets stuck. He's the hot potato of television.
Sit here and fucking talk to you? God damn.
Was an unjustified act of revolution, or whether you change your mind. So can you clarify?
I think that violent...
When countries are violent and oppressive, then people are going to respond with violence. That's what I think. October 7th didn't happen in a vacuum. Come on.
I mean, he just says this. I mean, that is a reasonable, but he clearly is acting like that's sort of like that's a ridiculous thing to say. When, yeah, obviously that is exactly what's people are gonna fucking fight back. God, like, yeah, I would be.
Maintaining an apartheid is inevitably going to yield violent retaliation.
Yes. Okay. Do the vacuum. It's not in a vacuum. October 7th didn't happen in a vacuum. Do it. Come on. Do it. We're so close.
Oh, fuck you, man. God, he is such a prick. Like, this is actually a serious thing. He and Xanderhall deserve each other. He and Xanderhall absolutely deserve each other. Because neither of them gives a fuck about anything, except that they're I mean, like, the one thing that they're serious about is how racist they are. But other than that, they don't give a shit about anything they're talking about. They don't care. They could be talking about fucking ice cream flavors or Rubik's Cubes or some shit. They don't care. You know, so, you know, if, like, you know, 40,000 people get murdered in Gaza and everybody else there is starving to death, why do they, you know, it's just the ball, it's just the ball. They play, you know, this is just the debate bro version of hurling. It's the slitter.
Close. I'm so close. I'm gooning. I'm edging. I'm so close. I'm so close. Do it.
Wait. He's so close to what? Is he coming?
So was it justified?
Something that is completely avoidable.
Was it justified?
Civilian deaths are never justified.
You know
We were close.
You look Poland's mother in the eyes. No, you look this person's mother in the eyes and you tell him that this was justified. You tell him
Well, who is that guy? Is the first question. I mean, because whether anything about it that is to do with this guy is justified depends on who the fuck he is. Like, who is he? You're gonna have to actually, like, is she gonna give a name, or is he supposed to just know the face of every fucking Israeli or something?
his arm being blown off and being held in captivity for 200 days is
I do love that
okay. His arm was blown off by Israel, though.
And then they get the worst Zionist lunatics. Like, if you want to play the phone game, if you want to play the phone game, how much does an iPhone cost?
He's just so fucking above it all. I mean, it just makes you want to pound him in the nuts.
How many millions of dollars would you need to spend if you wanted to buy one phone for every Palestinian that had their arms blown off? What a stupid fucking talking point. Look at my phone! Look at my phone! Who the fuck cares? Like, if you want to play the numbers game, you want to put, like, pictures up, well, the Palestinians got a whole lot more pictures of dead people than you do, Chief.
Israel defender has no capacity.
Okay, now I feel dirty for having said Chief. Did that fucking rub off on me from him? Fuck off. No. Okay, that is being banished from my vocabulary now.
Palestinians who are made up identity.
It just.
You think
listen
that
what I have to say.
Oh, he did the. He gave her the. He gave her the.
Like, who even is she?
He almost pulled a sneako there.
I can hear anything I'm saying.
Palestinians who are made up identity.
It just. If you're not going to respect me and listen to what I have to say, which, by the way, of course you don't respect.
Well, yes, you do. That's not a matter of opinion. You literally do occupy Gaza and the West Bank. And I love she says we, like, this very clear North American accent. How long's she, but whoever the hell she is.
Talk over each other, nobody can hear you.
I just realized she's Jewish, right? Because she's got the Jew symbols.
First of all, fuck off. And second of all, actually, there's this whole thing where Christian Zionists have decided to appropriate the symbol and are walking around like there's that Spalding asshole, the one who is really big in Germany because he's racist against Palestinians and he's a walking gay stereotype and he sexually objectifies Jewish men, and he wears one. I mean, there was a whole thing we saw on that fucking Zionist version of The View where some, like, Christian Zionist was explaining why she wears the star, you know, and it's, which, seriously, just fuck off. But, yeah, so you can't assume that.
The star power or whatever?
I think it's the entire...
He doesn't know what the Star of David is. This motherfucker is, like, sitting on in his fucking ivory tower here, like, made of ivory soap. Motherfucker doesn't even know what the Star of David is called. Like, seriously, like, you don't know what the fucking star... You don't know where Israel is on the map. You don't know who the Prime Minister is. And he thinks it's called the Star of Power. Like, what kind of fucked up... I mean, where did he get... Is that, like, a Nazi thing? Because that would explain why he says it.
World, no.
No, it is. You
Okay.
think,
Hang
you
on,
think
Emily,
that from
please.
your narrative.
Let me handle this, Emily.
Power.
Hassan, just before I come to the two people who are with me here, I just need some clarity here, because it seems like you're dancing around whether you think October the 7th was justified
why are we
or not.
doing this? Why are we doing this back and forth masturbation? I've already given you my fucking
why
position.
are you doing this?
I mean, yes, it is back and forth masturbation. And I mean, see, any shit that Piers Morgan catches is entirely justified.
So mad!
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this back and forth masturbation? I've already given you my fucking
why
position.
Why are you doing this? He's happy.
How would you thread the needle on this? October 7th is really hard to justify.
No, it isn't, actually. It really isn't. The fundamental parts of it, the fundamental aspects of it, defeating the Gaza division, breaking out of the ghetto, destroying the surveillance and the automatic... They have fucking automatic machine gun turrets pointing down on the ghetto walls to stop people escaping. That's not hard to justify at all. That is easy as hell to justify. That is as easy to justify as anything that happened on the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, like any fucking uprising in a fucking walled ghetto ever, basically. At the most, you can say there are aspects of it that sucked. Because there were. But fundamentally, first of all, a huge number of the people who got killed that day were killed by Israel as part of the fucking Hannibal Doctrine. They've admitted that. That's openly discussed in the Israeli press. And of all the nastiest stories, basically all of them have been revealed to be fabrications or just unsubstantiated. So when you take that into account, what you're talking about primarily is an extremely sophisticated military operation that took out the division of an occupying army that it was dedicated to starving the people of Gaza, and guess what? Fuck them.
Basically unjustifiable, right? But listen, if you do oppress a group of people for a long time and the entire world isn't listening to their pleas, and it seems like no amount of peaceful protests, the Great March of Return to get them any closer to peace, and you can go to the West...
I am actually legit shocked that this motherfucker knows what the Great March of Return is.
Bank, and you can see that in neighborhoods like Sheikh Jarrah, you've got Palestinians being kicked out of their historic homes because of...
Sheikh Jarrah? Sheikh Jarrah? It's a very chic Jarrah. Like, what the fuck? Dude, like, this motherfucker does not know anything.
Jewish landowners, and that's even in East Jerusalem. So, I mean, like, if you oppress a certain group of people for a long fucking time, what do you expect to happen? Of course, at some point, terrorist attacks are going to happen. Now, I don't condone the terrorist attacks. I think terrorist attacks are horrible. I don't support the attacks that happened on October 7th, but if I'm going to condemn the October 7th attacks, I'm going to condemn the underlying conditions that led to those as well, as Martin Luther King said, right? So,
like, this motherfucker... God, he is just so hateful. Because literally none of this is... He doesn't give a shit about any of it. That is just so... that is so fucked up. That is so, that, like, to throw yourself into a life and death issue for millions of people just to grift money while openly not giving a shit about it. That is fucking evil. Destiny is an evil fuck. This does not come as a surprise to me, but just watching the just sheer blasé apathy with which he's talking about all of this, because he does not care about any of what happens, and he's literally just doing this to grift money off of douchebags. God, that's vile. That is fucked up. I mean, I had no respect for Destiny before this, mind you. Zero. I've never had any respect for the motherfucker ever. But the level of just not, this is, like, I actually think less of him than I already did.
To the language of the unheard. A riot is bad, but the unheard voices are also bad. Like,
this motherfucker, the way he says these things, it's just clearly, I mean, it's all just fucking talking points to him. You can tell this motherfucker has absolutely no connection to any of these sentiments. It's just shit he read that he knows he can use sometimes. I mean, it's not even unserious, yes. I mean, the guy is ignorant as everything. The guy has a knowledge gap that is as big as all outdoors. But, I mean, there are people, you know, I run into people who don't know shit about Palestine all the time, and who feel very deeply, you know, about the horrible shit that is being done to the Palestinians, even though they actually did not, were not following this for, like, 20 years like some of us have, like, and it's like, people who I can respect that, because sometimes different things become hit people's awareness at different times, and it sometimes takes a lot for something, and if somebody is sincere, I can get with that, because somebody like that is probably willing to learn because they've just discovered something appalling that has really torn the scales from their eyes or whatever, and they want to understand it. I can understand that because I was there. I don't think this Stephen Bonnell was ever that. He does not, some of us got into these sorts of discussions because at some point we saw something fucked up and we had to understand what the hell was going on with it. And that took us down a rabbit hole, and we became politicized and radicalized and whatever. This motherfucker just likes to, fucking rehearse the motions of debate without actually developing any knowledge, understanding, or even, indeed, giving a shit about anything that's going on. And the level of disrespect I have for that is bottomless, really. And with that, it is time to wrap up for tonight. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will be back at 11:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Let me just drop the Discord link into chat for anyone who isn't already there. Love to see you there. It's where we can keep in touch in between streams. And let me just say, at the moment, the Inessa Armand translation project, which I'm now 25% of the way to fully funding, is kind of my main source of income at the moment. It was never supposed to be that, but basically the AI grift has really just killed my profession, at least temporarily. So any support for that is very much appreciated, and it's helping to expand the English language Marxist canon. I will drop a link in here where you can see all of the stuff that I've translated so far. It's in PDF here, and anyone who wants to support it it's very much appreciated, and signal boosting is also appreciated, because I know more people would be interested in this, interested in reading it and supporting the project, then see it through because of, you know, how the algorithm treats my shit. So any kind of signal boosting is also very, very much appreciated. It helps expand the canon, and it helps me keep my head above water during a really kind of shitty time in the history of the field of translation. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.